Guys, welcome back in. It's time to meet another one of the professional handicappers that we would highly recommend that you follow because it's definitely worth the follow. Matt from @MoneyPick Matt, he joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. This is a tremendous follow, and if you like the NHL, you're going to love what he's got to say about tonight's card. So, Matt, first and foremost, happy Wednesday, brother. Thanks for taking a few minutes out and joining us.
Thank you for having me on, Joe. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, Matt, let's start from the beginning. Tell the listeners, the viewers, a little bit about how you got started in this and what you do and all that good stuff.
All right. Basically, hockey is my bread and butter growing up. I played my entire life, so I'm not just betting at it from a numbers perspective, even though that is part of the equation. I'm doing it from insight, from playing years and years and years, and adding in a gut method is what I call it, on top of, a little bit of math. Lived in New York, Canada, Texas for hockey. Always bet on it just for fun and everything. And it got to the point where every week for games, it was all my sphere, my friends, people hit me up, asking me, hey, who are you taking this week? Who are you taking this week? And after a while, it just kept rolling, got bigger. People started getting my own following, so made a little Twitter and started gaining a little bit of a following on there. And so I'm just doing what I've been doing for 11 years now. I've had 11 straight winning years. Don't want to jinx myself.
Yes.
It's my method that I like to do. It's a long-term thing. I have specific teams per se I like to deal with. I fade a lot of teams. I just too much variables with them. But over a long term, it's a win.
@MoneyPick Matt is where you're going to get him on Twitter. A great follow. Now, what's the biggest surprise thus far to you in the NHL season? Is there something, Matt, that stands out and go, wow, I didn't see that coming?
Not that I didn't necessarily see anything coming, but I mean the total goals that are being scored nowadays, that's changing a little bit. But you could kind of expect that because the NHL is changing into a faster pace. It's obviously still a very physical game, but it's, you got people like Connor McDavid coming on the scene, setting the precedence for future players. And I think in a lot of the young rookies, that's what you're seeing too, is just that speed, that release on the shot. That's actually, to your point, I think the biggest thing that would surprise me is the lack of penalties that have been called. I don't think they're under calling. But I was anticipating a little bit more penalties this year. I don't know what it was, but players are really doing a good job not getting their stick on the hands, and I thought that was going to be a bigger factor than it has been so far, but still early.
Yeah, no, it is still early. How about the news yesterday coming out of Chicago? Coach Q out. Was he the issue with the Blackhawks? Was he the guy that was the problem, or can we look to the front office?
I think it's a front office thing. I mean, Quenneville is one of the best coaches you're going to have in the game. Personally, as a Kings fan who just ousted our coach, I would love to see Quenneville come out here and, make some stride in L.A., but I don't think changing the coach in Chicago is necessarily the issue that they're facing with.
No, it's definitely not, but he'll be unemployed for all of 2 minutes there, I'm sure. All right, let's get to the games here. At MoneyPick Matt, that's how you catch him on Twitter, @MoneyPick Matt. Let's talk a little hockey tonight. Let's put the slate up here. All right, so we got the Predators taking on the Avalanche. We'll start in that game first. Who you like and why, my friend?
Right now, I'm liking the Predators. Predators are very strong. They have a great record not only against Colorado, but specifically in Colorado, which you don't see a lot of teams having in the Mile High City. Keep in mind, Pecorine is not confirmed to start yet, so that's obviously a huge factor. So I would fade that if Pecorine is not starting and maybe contemplate the over in that situation. But I'm still leaning towards the Predators' money line for tonight. Colorado is a hard team to go against at home, especially this season, but so are the Predators in any game. They're a force to be reckoned with, and have proved themselves through season and season. So I'm sticking with the Preds for tonight.
You're going Preds money line. You're also a units better, so you're going 1.5 units on this?
Yeah, I went 1.5 units on the Preds money line.
Okay, let's talk about game two tonight that you're looking at. You got the Calgary Flames and you got the Anaheim Ducks. What do you like here?
Calgary Flames and Ducks. I'm leaning towards the Flames. The Ducks are not only riddled with injuries, they're coming off getting stomped by a struggling Kings team last night, nonetheless. So yeah, I'm sticking with the Flames on tonight. They're a hot team. Anaheim's just not looking the way they need to be looking. Keep in mind, I'm also projecting Ryan Miller to start that game. But even if John Gibson, for whatever reason, started that game, I'd still stick to the Flames to take out today.
You like the money line there, and depending on who's in goal, you'd also look at the over as a possibility.
Yeah, I would toe the over. I mean, Mike Smith has one of the highest goals against averages in the league. Ryan Miller is not too far behind him, so I like that over on it. But with the Ducks struggling to score, you're weighing out whether you think that the Flames are going to let up some goals with Mike Smith, who has a high GAA, versus the Ducks, who they're not scoring. So personally, I like the Flames better than the over. But if I was leaning towards one, given the fact that Miller, if he does start for Anaheim, I would be personally. I already did a bet on the over regardless. But what I pick and what I post are two different things.
There you go. All right. He is Money Pick Matt, at Money Pick Matt on Twitter. NHL is the slate of games tonight that he likes. The last one I see you have on the card here today, Caps and Penguins. What a fun battle this is going to be. Who you like?
Yeah, I like the over on that one, actually. It's 6.5, which is a little high. Both of these teams are totally capable of scoring 3 goals a game. I know Pittsburgh's been in a little bit of a drought the last 3 games. They haven't scored 3 or more goals in several games, but when you're getting 2 of the best teams with the rivalry, you're going to expect the intensity. Braden Holtby for Washington, obviously one of the best goalies in the league, but his GAA is slightly under 4, which is extremely high for him. But the amount of games they play against each other in Washington, I'm sticking to hoping that history repeats itself in terms of it going over.
Well, it's going to be a hell of a game one way or the other. So there you got it. You got Predators money line. You got the Flames money line. You got the Caps over tonight against the Penguins. And what you need to do is get to Money Pick Matt's Twitter page, at Money Pick Matt. That's where you go. That is where you will find him. And while you're on there, it's funny. Do you have a time that you usually post some of your plays there, Matt?
Usually, typically speaking, I like to post them close to puck drop, just in case any last things come up. But then at the same time, I personally like to jump on things before the line shifts too much. But in terms of me actually posting the picks, I usually wait a little bit over. Part of the reason times like today you're still waiting on confirmations for a couple of goalies, see if there's any line adjustments, or surprisingly, people coming down last minute with the flu and being out, something like that. So yeah, typically I like to wait a little bit before puck line, usually about an hour or so, and then I'll
That's why you need to follow him, and this way it's pretty simple. It's a great follow if you love the NHL. Nobody better than Matt from Money Pick Matt. That's at Money Pick Matt. Of course, all his information is there. Tips are always accepted there, Matt, I am sure, along those lines. But get to his Twitter page. All the information is there. Nobody does hockey quite like he does it. Matt, it was a pleasure talking to you, my friend. Thank you so very much for taking some time out. Good luck tonight, man, and may the puck drop in your favor always, brother.
Likewise. Thank you again for the opportunity, for having me on the show. You got a great podcast going, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. At Money Pick Matt. Make sure you guys head over there tonight. The NHL slate. Nobody better.